Hello my dear friends, welcome to Life Prep. In the previous lecture, we studied about the mechanism of breathing and we studied about what is the role of pressure, what is the role of volume and why we need to change thoracic volume to cause changes in the volume of lung, all the things we studied, and ultimately we studied that how we can change the thoracic volume and what is the role of that free neck muscles of diaphragm and also intercostal muscles. So those things we have studied. So with that particular part is completed. Now in this lecture, so this is a very small one. So here we are mainly focusing on various volumes and capacities related to the lung. So what are these? So what is the name of instrument that is used for calculation of these things? It is simply called as a spirometer. It is a very simple type of spirometer here. But anyhow, so there are so many types of different advanced, even the digital type of spirometers are also there for the proper and exact calculation. Clear? This is a very simple type. So now we are directly going with the content. The same point once again I am reading. The volume of air that is involved in breathing movements can be estimated by using an instrument called as a spirometer, which is helping in estimating so various types of pulmonary functions so that are having some clinical significance. That's what they said. Even in the previous lecture also we studied this particular point. So with the help of this particular spirometer, we can do a calculation of so many types of these things. So we can talk about the tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume. I will tell you each and everything. Expiratory reserve volume, residual volume. Like that we are studying about some volumes. And then we will study about some capacities like inspiratory capacity, expiratory capacity, functional residual capacity, and then vital capacity, and then total lung capacity. Likewise, some names are there. Some are considered as volumes, some are considered as capacities. The thing is, how you are getting the capacities by adding some different types of volumes. So now what are these things? One by one we will understand. Concept is very simple. I will show you this diagram once again at the end. Now let us go through the first one. First one they are talking is the tidal volume. What is tidal volume? The volume is, please remember, here in the MCET they used a word called OR. But many students are not focusing on this word. They are thinking that it is end. So that they are making a mistake. So what actually this tidal volume is? First let me tell you. See, in the normal, please remember normal. Normal means it should not be forced inspiration, forced expression. Normal means under the normal condition we are taking. This means inspiration, this means expression. Please understand this. In the normal condition, small amount of volume of air we are taking in R. We are releasing out. Please understand this. While you are calculating this, many students what they are doing is they are adding both. Volume you are taking in and volume you are releasing out, both they are adding. It is not both adding. Please understand this. Don't make this mistake. Take any one. Amount of air that is taken in or amount of air that is released out. It is almost same only. So that's why any one you can take. So in the normal condition, the amount of air that is taken in during inspiration or the amount of air that is released out during expiration, any one you can take it as tidal volume. So what is the approximate volume of this? On an average it is 500 ml. And here per minute they are doing the calculation. How they are doing this calculation? Let us see here. In the previous lecture itself we studied the breathing rate. What is the respiratory rate? On an average it is 12 to 16 times. 12 to 16 times per minute. Yes or no? So one time means these many breaths, right? 12 to 16 breaths per minute. So here what we are saying in one breath means, please remember, either inspiration or expiration, any one you need to calculate. Any one you are taking, how many? So it is the 500 ml approximate. All these are approximate values only because in different individuals, different lung capacities are present. Accordingly, volume will be variable. So that's why average values we are taking here. 500 ml per breath. Per breath we are saying like this, but actually it is either inspiration or expiration you are taking. Likewise, how many times we are breathing in 1 minute? 12 to 16 times. So multiply this. 12 into 500 to 16 into 500. So how much you will get here? 12 into 500 means 6000 ml. And here too, here it will be how much? It will be 8000 ml per minute. Yes or no? In one breath, it is approximately 500 ml. So the tidal volume is 500 ml per breath. Likewise, in 1 minute we are taking 12 to 16 breaths. If it is 12 breaths, 12 into 500, so 6000 ml. If it is 16 into 500, so it will be 8000 ml. So that's why in the NCERT they gave the value like 6000 to 8000 ml per minute calculation they give. Now the thing is, the same things they may ask in different way. 6000 ml. I hope you know conversions. 6 into 1000. 6000. 6 into 10 to the power 3. Milliliter. What is the value of milli? 10 to the power minus 3. Liter. Plus 3 minus 3 just cancel. So what is this one? 6000 ml means what? It is nothing but 6 liter. To 8000 ml means 8 liter per minute. Like this also you can write. Please understand this. Alternative way of writing is also very important. Don't see, if they are directly giving like this, no problem, because already they gave in NCERT. But the thing is, instead of giving directly, they may change the value. Still it is the same meaning. So you need to understand this. So 6000 ml is also called 6 liter. 8000 ml is also called 8 liter. But please remember, it is not for one breath, it is for 1 minute. If you are taking these average values. And sometimes what they will do, they will say that a person is having so and so number of times of breaths. In one breath, this is the so and so tidal volume. So for 1 minute, for 1 hour, like that they may ask calculation. So accordingly you need to do the multiplication. You need to know the basic multiplication. See here what we did, for 1 minute we calculated. Suppose they are asking for 1 hour, then what you will do? Again into 60 minutes. If they are asking for 1 hour into 60 minutes, multiply this. 6 into 60. Do it. So 360 liters to 8 into 60. Okay. 480 liters per hour. In this way, whether they are asking for 1 breath or for 1 minute or for 1 hour, whatever it is. Okay. This is what you need to do the calculation. So calculation part, application questions can be anything, but the basic information you need to know, and how to do the calculation, that also you need to know. Now let us see, what is this tidal volume? Volume of air that is inspired. How much you are taking in? R, ORR, it is not and, it is ORR. That you can take R. Volume of air expired during normal respiration. In the normal breathing or respiration time, amount of air taken in or released out. Anyone you just take, that it is called as tidal volume, and its volume is approximately 500 ml, not liter. 500 ml means half liter. That is, a healthy man can inspire or expire approximately 6000 to 8000 ml, means 6 liter to 8 liters of air per minute. This is what they are saying. Basic calculation, very simple. You need to remember this. This is the tidal volume, normal thing. But now we are talking about the more information. What is this? Inspiratory reserve volume. What is this inspiratory? For inspiration, reserve means extra. Please remember, now let us consider the normal thing. Okay. I don't know whether you can see the expansion of my chest or not. So please try to understand this. In the normal breathing step, we are taking, normal I am saying, taking in, released out. That's it. But here, we are not talking about the normal. Anyhow, you will take the normal. Normal means what? Tidal volume is there. Anyhow, you will take the tidal volume. Sometimes, please remember, here they will never calculate for minute. These volumes, inspiratory reserve volume and then expiratory reserve volume, residual volume, they will never calculate per minute, because rarely we will do this. Will you take that every time? Will you do like this? We will never do like that. Whenever it is required, rarely we will do it. If you feel that enough amount of air is not there, then you will do once or twice, that's it, rarely. So that's why this calculation is for individual time. But the tidal volume is a continuous process. So there you can calculate per minute, but here you cannot calculate for 1 minute. Please understand this. Okay, because many teachers, they are giving questions like this. What is the inspiratory reserve volume per minute? You cannot ask like this. For each time, how much? That question you can ask like this. Now let us understand. What is this inspiratory reserve? For inspiration, reserve. Reserve means what? Extra. So anyhow, normal we are taking. During inspiration, we are doing normal. That is called tidal volume. But don't consider that. Anyhow, under tidal volume we calculated. Extra than that. That means what? Suppose I am doing the normal breathing, inspiration, normal inspiration, normal expiration. Okay. Suppose I need more oxygen, more air. Then what I am doing? Extra I am taking. Yes or no? Extra I am taking. So anyhow, tidal volume 500 ml is there. Plus whatever is extra. Don't remove the tidal volume. Other than tidal volume, whatever is extra that you can inspire, that extra volume of air that you can inspire, that extra volume of air that you can inspire is called as inspiratory reserve volume. That means tidal we are not considering. Anyhow, that 500 ml is separate one. Other than that, whatever the extra that you can, this is the this is the volume that we can take inside. So additional volume very clearly they give. So you should not talk about tidal. Remove the tidal and extra only we are talking. Additional volume of air a person can inspire by forceful inspiration, by forced inspiration. What is the extra volume of air we can take? That extra volume of air is called as inspiratory reserve volume, and generally its volume is in the range of 2500 to 3000 ml. That means 2.5 liter to 3 liter. This is the volume that is related to inspiratory reserve volume. Same way expiratory, but it is opposite. During expiration, normally we are expiring tidal, but sometimes we can do extra. But please remember, these calculations we are doing in the normal condition. So observe carefully here. Normally we are doing expiration, tidal volume, but sometimes we can do forced. Yes or no? We can do forced. In that what happens? Anyhow tidal is there, remove that. Extra volume of air that we can release, that is called as expiratory reserve volume. Additional volume of air a person expire by forceful expiration, that is called as expiratory reserve volume, and its value is in the range of 1000 to 1100 ml. That means 1 liter to 1.1 liter. Understood? This one also we cannot calculate for per minute because rarely we are doing this. Clear? These are the inner volume. Next one we are talking is the residual. That means what? See, even after forced expiration, see, in the lungs what happens is, suppose I am doing forced expiration. After this I cannot do it, but still some air is present inside the lungs. See, we cannot completely throw out the entire volume of air. Some amount of air is present inside the lungs. The volume of air that is present inside the lungs even after forced expiration. Even though we are doing forced expiration, still some amount of air is present inside the lungs. That is called residual volume. Residue. Generally in the chemistry we are using the word called residue. Suppose you are taking a container, something that is left at the bottom of the container. The something that is left in the bottom of the container, left in the container is called residue. Same word, residual volume means what? Volume of air that is remaining in the lungs even after forceful expiration. That means this residual volume you cannot take it outside, it is present inside the lungs, and its volume is approximately 1100 to 1200 ml. These values are also important, you need to remember this. This is what they are saying. Clear? Next one. This is what about the 4 types of volumes we are studying. First one is the tidal volume. In the normal inspiration or expiration, the air that is taken in or air that is released out is called as tidal volume. Inspiratory means other than tidal, extra volume we are taking inside is called as by forced inspiration. That is called as inspiratory reserve volume. What is expiratory reserve volume? Other than tidal, extra air that we can release by forced expiration is called as expiratory reserve volume. Residual means even after forced expiration also some air is present inside the lungs, that is called as residual volume. Clear? These are the things. And now these are all volumes, but now we are talking about capacities. How you will get the capacities? By adding the various volumes. The same thing they said here. By adding few types of respiratory volumes described above, one can derive various pulmonary capacities. So different types of capacities we can talk about, and which can be used in clinical diagnosis. Clinical purpose, they are having some significance. What are these? First one is inspiratory capacity. Please remember, now they are asking about my capacity. What is my inspiratory capacity? Anyhow I can take the tidal. Along with the tidal I can take that inspiratory reserve volume by forced inspiration, right? But when this particular condition you are talking, under the normal expiration, you should not do forced expiration, you need to do normal expiration. I did a normal expiration. After normal expiration, I am doing forced inspiration, so that tidal volume is coming and inspiratory reserve volume is also coming. So after normal expiration, if you are doing forced inspiration, then what you will get? You will get both tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume. So this entire one is called inspiratory capacity. That means suppose I did the normal expiration. Now this is called as my inspiratory capacity. So here what I will get? Both tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume, both I am getting. So that's why it is the inspiratory capacity. This is my inspiratory capacity. So total volume of air a person can inspire after normal expiration. This word is very important. So you need to do normal expiration and then you need to do forced inspiration. At that time, whatever the air that is coming, that entire one is called as inspiratory capacity. So this is including both tidal volume and inspiratory reservoir volume. That's it. You need to remember this. IC is equal to TB plus IRB. You need to remember this. Now I will show you at the end of this lecture. Okay, all the things, how they can ask in examination. Next one is expiratory capacity. Same way, capacity. What is this capacity? Anyhow, tidal we can release. Along with this, during forced expiration, some extra is also coming. So for this, what is the compulsory thing? You need to do normal inspiration. After normal inspiration, you need to do forced expiration. Then what happens? So both tidal and expiratory reservoir volume will go out. That combinedly is called as expiratory capacity. So now I will do the normal inspiration, then I will do forced expiration. Normal inspiration. Now I will do forced expiration. This is the expiratory capacity. Please remember this. So EC, expiratory capacity, is equal to TB plus ERV. Next one is functional residual capacity. In the normal condition, we are not regularly doing forced expiration. We are not regularly doing forced expiration. So since we are not doing forced expiration, that the volume respective to that extra volume related to that forced expiration is called as expiratory reservoir volume. Generally, that is also present inside the lungs. Whenever it is required, when you want to do forced expiration, then only this will go out. But until then, this is also present in the lungs. But anyhow, residual volume is always present in the lungs. So residual volume is always present in the lungs, and expiratory reservoir volume is also almost always present in the lungs. But it is coming only when we are doing forced expiration. But regularly we are not doing forced expiration. Since we are not regularly doing forced expiration, both of them are present together generally. So that's why that capacity is called as functional residual capacity. So functionally, if you are observing, generally these two are present in the lung. Understood or not? In the normal process, if you are talking, in the normal individual, these two are present together. If you want to do forced expiration, then only you will release this ERV. And anyhow, this is always present inside the lung. So that's why these two, expiratory reservoir volume and residual volume, combined it is called as functional residual capacity. Understood? Next one. Next one is regarding vital capacity. What is this vital capacity? Vital capacity means, please understand this. Here what happens generally, so those individuals who are trying to go for this defense selections and even for police selections, they will know about this. So but anyhow, this volume with the spirometer they will not measure, but generally they will measure with the help of tape. And generally they will say that, so the individual should be able to expand the chest by minimum of 5 centimeters. Generally this is the regular condition. Minimum of 5 centimeters we should be able to expand. Why they are talking about the chest expansion there? But indirectly they are calculating. Okay, what is this capacity? If you are able to expand the chest by minimum of 5 centimeters, that means your lung capacity is good. Okay, normal, better. If you are not able to expand even that much, also means your capacity is very less. And if you are running for little bit longer duration, you may not be able to have the enough breathe. So that's why general they will say that this much should be there. But if you are having more, that is very good. Okay, so when I went for my police selection, so I had an expansion of more than 12 centimeters. So it is a very good. Okay, so in this way different individuals may have different abilities and capacities. So in this way, here what actually they are doing, how they will measure it, at least because some of you may be trying to apply for that AFMC and all. So better you just know it, what they will do actually. So when they are doing this, measuring this particular one, what you need to do? Anyhow, I will tell you this wordings also. First thing, generally what they will do is, they will ask you to go for forced expiration. Release this air. How much you can release it, release it. So forced expiration. So in that forced expiration, extra volume you are releasing. That means expiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume. Forced expiration you did. And then you are going with forced inspiration. In the forced inspiration, anyhow tidal volume is coming. And along with this, inspiratory reserve volume is also coming. So what they will do is, first they will ask for forced expiration. So you are doing forced expiration. And now they will measure it. And then they will note it down. And then they will ask you to do forced inspiration. and now they will take the difference. First general what they will do, they will ask you for forced expiration. So then they will measure the chest, so many centimeters, and then they will ask you to do forced inspiration, then they will measure it. So that difference should be more than 5 centimeters. This is how generally they are calculating. But the same thing you can do in reverse also. What they will do, they will ask you for forced inspiration first, so maximum value you are getting, and then you need to go for forced expiration, so you will get the minimum value, you will get the difference. So in both the ways you can do, both the ways they have mentioned here, so please observe carefully, so that what you will get. So in this forced expiration, forced inspiration you are doing, but something called residual is present inside, so that you are not calculating, that is there separately, so don't count that one, but remaining 3 will come. What will come? Expiratory reserve, because you are doing the forced expiration, and then tidal volume, anyhow regular you are taking, and then inspiratory reserve volume, some extra area also you are taking. So these 3 will come. So if you are adding these 3, that is called as vital capacity. That is called as a vital capacity. Understood or not? So that much of air that I can, so I don't know whether you can understand the chest expansion or not. Suppose I am doing the forced expiration, then I need to go for forced inspiration. So in this way they are measuring this chest expansion and all. So that is indirectly the measure of vital capacity. But anyhow, so with the help of spirometry, if you are measuring, you need to add all these values, so that you can go for total value for this particular vital capacity. So that's why they have given the definition in 2 ways. You can go for forced expiration and then forced inspiration, or else first to do forced inspiration, then you can go for forced expiration. That's what they said. Anyhow you can do it, you will get the vital capacity. The maximum volume of air a person can breathe, maximum volume of air a person can breathe means what? Forced inspiration after forced expiration. So you need to do forced expiration and then you need to do forced inspiration. Okay, so then you will get the maximum volume, that is called vital capacity. This includes expiratory reserve volume, tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume, all the 3 combined, that is the vital capacity. Or opposite way, the maximum volume of air a person can breathe after forced inspiration. That means breathe means what here? Release. So after forced inspiration, again you are doing forced expiration, that also you will get the same value. So in this way, anyhow you can do this particular calculation. But what is the total lung capacity? Anyhow this vital capacity, whatever you are doing, plus in the lungs residual volume is also present and residual volume is also there. So vital capacity plus residual volume, anyhow this you are doing. So that is the total volume of air that is present inside the lung. That's why it is the total lung capacity. That's why all the 4, residual volume, expiratory reserve volume, tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume, all the 4 we are adding, you will get total lung capacity. That's it. So these individual things that you need to understand very clearly, and now we are going for these particular values. And in the examination what you will do, if you are observing NCERT, what they said, total lung capacity is addition of all the 4, they said, nice. And another way they said that it is the vital capacity plus residual volume, they said, nice. Only these 2 things they said. But since you know the conversions, they can ask in any way. Now let us see this. Residual volume we are writing as it is, expiratory reserve volume we are writing as it is, tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume combined, it is called inspiratory capacity. So total lung capacity can be written like this also, yes or no? Next one, and here residual volume we are keeping as it is, expiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume is called expiratory capacity. So you can write like this, plus inspiratory reserve volume. In this way also you can write it. Next one, expiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume, sorry, expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume plus expiratory reserve volume, these 2 is called functional residual capacity. So you are writing like this, and these 2 as it is we are writing like this also you can write, or else this residual volume let us write as it is, these 3 combined it is called vital capacity, like that also you can write. Next one, residual volume plus expiratory reserve volume is called functional residual capacity, tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume is called inspiratory capacity. So in this way also you can write it. So please remember these inter-conversions also you need to understand. All these are from the given NCERT information only. But generally many teachers they are teaching only first one and last one, that's it. You need to know this, you need to know this. In the examination they can ask like this, identify the wrong one. So somewhere I will change it. So I will give 4 options like this. So you should understand this, how exactly you are doing the calculation. That is for total lung capacity. Now let us see for vital capacity. What is vital capacity? Expiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. Now, expiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume is expiratory capacity, and this inspiratory reserve volume as it is we are writing. Next one, expiratory reserve volume as it is we are writing, and tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume is inspiratory capacity. So like this also you can write it. Or else vital capacity here. Vital capacity. How you can write vital capacity? Total lung capacity minus residual volume. Like this also you can write it. Same thing I have written here. Next one, vital capacities. Total lung capacity is what? Total lung capacity. FRC plus IC. Functional residual capacity plus inspiratory capacity minus residual volume. Anyway, you can write like this. If you know one, you should be able to convert from one form to other form. So in this way, please write all these things. Practice, practice. You just try to write on your own. Next one, functional residual capacity. It is expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume. And this FRC. Here also you are talking about some FRCs. So FRC you can write as TLC minus TB minus IRV. You can write like this. FRC is equal to TRC minus IC. Like this also you can write it. Yes or no? This I am using here. Like this also you can write. Suppose you are writing for expiratory capacity. ERV plus TB. But this one, with respect to this one, if you are writing about the expiratory capacity, VC minus IR, like this also you can write it. And different other things are also there here. See here, expiratory TLC minus these two things, like this also you can write. VC minus IRV, like this also write. Anyway, if you know one, you should be able to write the other things. Likewise, for inspiratory capacity also I wrote in different ways. Please observe these things, observe these things, observe these things. In this way, even though this content is very, very small, but when they are writing in the form of some formulae, many students are making mistakes. So please understand these concepts. Volumes are individual things, but the capacities are added ones. And here also, here they may ask the question here. Suppose they are asking about the inspiratory capacity. What is inspiratory capacity? Tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. How you will do this? What is the tidal volume? 500. Inspiratory reserve volume is 2500 to 3000 ml. Now they may ask about this inspiratory capacity. What is the inspiratory capacity? Add this. 2500 plus 500 is 3002. 3500. 3500. This is the inspiratory capacity. Like this you need to write it. Understood or not? Suppose they are asking about the expiratory capacity. What is expiratory capacity? Tidal volume plus expiratory reserve volume. The expiratory reserve volume is 1000 to 1100. Yes or no? And this one is 500. So how you will write this? Add this 1500 to add this 1600 ml. Like this you need to write. Simply add all those. Okay. And next one, let us write about functional residual capacity. It will be having residual volume and expiratory reserve volume. And expiratory reserve volume is approximately 1000 to 1100. The residual volume is 1100 to 1200. Minimum you just add it, so that 2100. Maximum you just add it 2300. Like this, whatever the values they are giving. So minimum you just add, you will get the minimum. Maximum you just add the total maximum. In this way also they can ask the questions. So you need to remember the individual values. You should be able to add all these things, then only you will get these capacities. So remember all these values. Please practice these things. So that's why deliberately I am not making it a longer one. It is a very small one. Please practice this. Those formulae also you please try to write on your own. Try to understand all these things. Okay. And here I told you that I will show you one diagram here, right? So generally they are showing this particular diagram. What is this one? This is the tidal volume. For this tidal volume, so here this is the expiratory reserve volume. So tidal plus expiratory reserve volume is expiratory capacity, you will get it. And this is the residual volume. Expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume will give functional residual capacity, you will get it. Suppose this upper side, inspiratory reserve volume, and tidal volume, so tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume, you will get inspiratory capacity, you will get it. Suppose inspiratory reserve volume, tidal volume, expiratory reserve volume, all these three if you are talking, it is vital capacity. If all the four you are considering, that is called as total lung capacity. In this way, with the help of this diagram also, you can easily understand these particular things. Clear? So this is what they are saying, and the same thing I will try to explain you here on the board. So here generally, so now let us divide this here 1, 2, 3 and 4. And here what generally they are mentioning here? Here they are mentioning the tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume and tidal volume. These are the 4 things that they are mentioning. Now generally what we are saying, if you are talking these two, inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume is inspiratory capacity. Yes or no? And then tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume. These two if you are talking, it is called as expiratory capacity you are talking. And expiratory reserve volume and residual volume if you are talking, functional residual capacity you are talking. Yes or no? Next one. Inspiratory reserve volume, tidal volume, expiratory reserve volume. This is called as vital capacity. This is called as vital capacity. If all the 4 are added, it is called total lung capacity. Same thing in the form of this graphs they have mentioned. That's it. Nothing more than this. This is the point. So in this way, overall, if you can understand these things, you can write all these things very easily. So please observe this carefully. Okay. So with this, this particular lecture is completed. So in the next lecture, we will go with different other types of concepts. So with this lecture is completed. Okay. We'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you so much.